I am going to. All right, I am recording and I thought I had my page set up to go live, and I think I do. Here it is, Creating Cultural Legacy, Day 3. Going live. Preparing to live stream. My voice, it starts singing when I get a little nervous or a little excited. It's redirecting and go. We are here. We are here. Today is day 3 of Creating Cultural Legacy. And I am going to get started. I am getting into group. It's slow. Okay. Is it slow, Miss Nadia?
You're already live.
All righty, I am live and I am here for you. Today is day 3 and I am going to hit the ground running. For those of you who may have recently joined, welcome to the group. Today is day 3 in which we talk about legacy. As a recap, day 1, I introduced ownership. We talked about stewardship and the thing between our ears, which is our mind, which is the key to getting us started from thinking to actually taking action. We talked yesterday about investing in real estate, also thinking outside of the scope of real estate. What else do you have that you can pass on culturally to your family, to your children's children? What are those things that you are investing in? What are you spending your time doing, thinking, and taking action on? That is what you are investing in. I would like to add to your investment the mind. Invest into your mind. Start reading and speaking things that are full of life, not things that are dead, because dead, you can't come back from dead in this world, right? The only one I know that did that is Jesus. And I believe there's an ability for some of us who have that power right now, but I'm talking about living the life that you want to have for not just yourself, but for the next generation. And so today I'm going to spend some time talking to you about legacy. Who wants to create a legacy? Something that you can be remembered for fondly. I have a friend who recently passed, and I mentioned this yesterday and day 1. Her name's Margot Wheeler Willis. If you go on my Facebook group, I share a post on there. She actually took me under her wings and told me all about real estate and leadership, because leadership is something where you're out. Basically, you can be out front or you can be in the back. You don't need a title to be a leader. And she taught me that. So I really, really appreciated that. And with the playbook that I created, I'm sharing the proceeds from the playbook to go to her memorial fund, because she recently passed away suddenly. And I think when people pass unexpectedly, the legacy that they leave is what you last remember them for. And fortunately, my contact with her was so valuable that I take that with me in all of the things that I do leadership-wise when it comes to real estate. She has left an indelible imprint, like a fingerprint. Her legacy lives on. So I want to share the proceeds from the sale of the playbook and anything else you purchase throughout this. I want to share that with her family, because I want them to know how great she was in my life and how she had a ripple effect. For those who knew her, you can look at her story, but I just want to share that with you. Thank you for those of you who have already purchased the playbook. Thank you for those of you who have asked for the recordings. Those who have asked for more, just thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be able to talk about that as we go a little further. I'm talking a little fast right now, so I'm catching myself. And slow it down. I want to see if there are any questions about my very abbreviated recap about creating cultural legacy. If there are no questions, I want to do a little bit more recap on just what legacy is about. I see we have someone coming in. Do you want me to admit her, Nadia, or will you?
1 second, I will admit.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I want to take a little bit more time just laying out this from the beginning to the end, because legacy is that ending piece, but it doesn't end with the end of your life. It continues on and on. It's what you are remembered for, what people think about you when you're no longer here. When we're alive, we don't necessarily, many of us don't think about what people will remember us for, because many of us are busy with the day-to-day living and the day-to-day creating and the day-to-day making money, providing for families. We're thinking about those things. But I want to expand your horizon concerning the things that you are doing today, how they impact generations to come. I mentioned previously that I have 2 grandsons. I was blessed with 3 daughters and didn't have any sons. So now I get to live vicariously as a mother of sons, even though they're my grandsons. They get to see firsthand what their grandmother does for a living. They get to come to the office. They get to go out on appointments with me. They get to understand what I do from their perspective. And they get to see, sometimes they get to see money in cash and they ask questions. But I thought about what happens when I'm no longer here. Will they remember me as the fun, I call myself Gma. Will they remember me as the fun Gma? Will they remember me for the properties that I've purchased that are in a trust? Will they remember me for the stories that I would tell that would just make them laugh? Would they remember about the introduction that I gave them to the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ? Will they remember those things? All of the things that I have instilled in myself that I am imparting into them, will they remember that? And those are the things that you will create with your cultural legacy. It's the things that you will be remembered for. One of my first online clients happened to be a lady named Yolanda Baker. I believe her son or one of her, I believe her daughter is also in this challenge. She went full on and dived into this. I actually had a workshop. And in that workshop, we created our own obituary. Sounds kind of morbid, but I believe there was a divine purpose for that because that was the first time I did that. We created our own obituary. And when you think about the end of your life, do you think, okay, I lived, I was here, I'm gone, who cares? Well, the people who love you care. The people that are behind you care. The generations that you don't even know, they care. They care about the stories that they will hear from other relatives. They care about the assets that you've acquired, that you've passed on to them. They care. They care about the culture that you've created, whether that be through music, through art, through real estate, whatever that source is, they care. And you might not think so right now until someone close to you passes away. And you have to scramble and create all of these things to prepare for that final goodbye. But what if you prepared these things in advance? And when you prepare these things in advance, it comes with joy instead of sadness. It comes with the desire to share your life's work. What if you were an artist and you created these magnificent paintings? Is it just for you? If you've amassed wealth through real estate, is it all for you? If you have created the most magnificent business online and brick and mortar business, whatever business you've created, and you've learned all these valuable skill sets, are you keeping them just for you? Is it just for your team? Is it just for the people that you want to influence? Or is it for the legacy that you're creating, the people behind you that want to know, how did they do that? Why were they so creative? How did they decide to even go into real estate? I didn't know at the time, but as a young child in that picture, that it's kind of hard to see on here, but if you purchase the playbook, that picture, can't really see it really good on here, but that little girl, she wanted to be something. And at the time, I was the youngest, well, still am the youngest in my family, youngest between my brother and sister. My sister has since passed, she was the oldest. But at that age, I knew there was more than what meets the eye. I knew that there was something more that I could do and that I could be. And little did I know that my father and my mother were preparing me for what I'm doing today. Now, maybe you don't have that story. Maybe there's a different story for you. But I was being prepared to be a realtor and an investor. Didn't know that. I was in the military for 10 years. Before then, I did childcare. I was in banking. I did all those things. And after the military, I landed in real estate. I'll say I landed because I wasn't seeking it out. It sought me out because when your life has a trajectory that's going somewhere and it's positive, you can't help but get caught up in that current. So I was caught up in that current of entrepreneurism, that current of creating, that current of legacy, that current of building, creating things. I always wanted to do that. In high school, digress, I was in commercial art. So I was always a creative being, but I didn't know how to marry the creativity with culture and with legacy. I didn't quite know how those things would line up. And each and every one of us has our own unique story. And in my story, I'm fortunate. I'm more than fortunate. I'm blessed because not only was I prepared for this time, but I also received an inheritance to help accelerate and give me more momentum in this space. You see, when my father passed away, he passed down all of his real estate assets to me, not because he thought I would keep them, not because he didn't want them. I think the reason he didn't really specifically say, the only thing he said when he did it was, I know you will take care of your mother. I know you will take care of the properties. And I know you will be fair to your brother and sister. So those were three things. And so with his trust, he trusted me that I would do the right thing. And with that story, I want to be able to share with you that no matter where you are now, whether you own real estate, whether you understand investing, whether you have even considered leaving a legacy, I want you to know that it's the most important thing you will ever do. You might think, okay, that's not the most important thing I'll ever do. I have a lot of things that are important. Well, what you do in this life matters, not just for you, but for the people behind you, the people you love and care about. Because I'll tell you, when he passed, I thought, what am I going to do? He had already prepared everything for me, from the paperwork to the burial, everything, everything. And when I look at my relatives and I see the loss in the family, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't have to be that way. Isn't it more joyful that when the person's living, you can get those stories? That was part of your homework too, for those who did it. You can capture those stories from living relatives. And if you don't have living relatives, you can look it up through Ancestry DNA or whatever other source that you want to look through. But knowing where you come from sometimes prepares you for where you're going. I'm fortunate in that regard. It prepared me for where I'm going and it prepared me for where I am. But maybe your story's different. Maybe your story's totally different. You can start today. You can start now. How? How do you start now? Well, there are some specific steps that you need to take. The first one starts up here. You have to think it's possible. Get rid of those unlimiting beliefs. Get rid of those ideas that it's not possible, that I can't do it. I have this conversation with my mother a lot. She lives with me and she has dementia, which comes and goes. I mean, sometimes she's on it, very alert and astute, and other times she's speaking in the past. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that, having a loved one with dementia or Parkinson's or any of those memory kind of lost things. Now she's in a position where she's using words that she used to tell me not to use. She uses the word can, won't, all those things that are keeping her from doing what it is she wants to do. And so I take the same language that she gave me as a young child and a young woman. Say, Mom, can't isn't in your vocabulary. All things are possible. Choose your words wisely. Speak life. All of those things she would tell me. I remember that. She would say, speak life. So I'm giving it right back to her. I'm giving her back what she gave me. So that culture, that legacy, that lineage, it's being reciprocated right back to her. And I can see when I say these things, there's a new awareness of, you're right. I can do it. I think the only thing that's stopping me is me. So she's coming to her own awareness. And maybe there's an awareness that you need to come to. Is there something that is holding you back? Is there an obstacle that's holding you back? That's up here, right? I talked about dreaming, how we as adults, we forget to dream. We forget that all things are possible because life circumstances get in the way, situations get in the way. And quite frankly, sometimes it's easier to just quit. I have a grandson that tells me that, Gima, I quit. I say, why are you quitting? He said, I quit. I quit first grade. I quit boxing. I quit everything. He said, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to watch TV. I said, are you going to be an Oompa Loompa? He said, what's an Oompa Loompa? I said, an Oompa Loompa is someone that sits and watches TV and gets bigger and bigger and bigger until they just fill up the room. He looks at me like, what are you talking about? I don't, because he's a literal, kids are literal. Even though they are dreamers, they're literal. So he thought about that and he said, I don't want to be an Oompa Loompa. It's all right then. I think you better get back in the game and you need to reconsider what you're thinking about. So we have those conversations. So what are the conversations you're saying to yourself? What's your self-talk about what's possible, about the life you're living now? Because that's what we're talking about. Legacy starts now. Legacy begins now. What is it that you want to do? What is it that you want to create? How many properties do you want to own? How many properties do you want to invest in? How many assets do you want to accumulate? Is it just in real estate or is it in other asset classes? What is it? Maybe there's something you're very skilled at. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you're a musician. What are those skills and talents that you want to hone in and become an expert in? I heard one speaker say that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert at anything. Expert. And it only takes, I think he said 30 hours, it could be more, 30 hours of focus work to learn a new skill. So from that, I thought, okay, I can learn a new skill. So I'm learning commercial real estate. And I want to become an expert. So I'm studying it more and more because I want to go from residential to commercial. It's not just going to come on me. I need to learn this new skill. So that's what I've decided to learn. So not only have I learned to master residential, I'm learning commercial real estate so that I can learn to master a specific asset class. What is it that you want to learn? Where do you want to grow? What are the possibilities? And when you think about creating a legacy, it needs to be written. There's a Bible verse, Habakkuk 2:2, whether you believe in the word or not, it's a principle. It's a life principle. Those who write down their plans and goals are more likely to achieve them. So what is it that you plan to do? Write it down. Write it down. So commercial real estate is one area. The other one is I'm learning to play the guitar. I joined a Facebook group called Girls with Guitars. So I'm learning to play the guitar. I know how to play some strings and I know how to play some chords. My grandsons come and they stroke the guitar too. So I'm learning these different skills because we're diverse people. We like to do a lot of different things. We have different cultures. I want to learn a new language. I just talked to Nadia about this. I hadn't decided whether it's Spanish or French. I'll figure it out. So as I'm learning these new skills and talents, I'm sharing them with my family because I want them to know this is all of me, not just the assets that I purchase. It's all of me. I also love comedy. Now, I haven't decided if I want to take that to the expert level yet. I love comedy because I love to laugh. I think laughter is good medicine. I think when people are funny, it just helps ease the mood for all other things. So I see I have a couple of people in the Zoom room. I'm not sure if they want to speak, but I have about 5 minutes that I can just ask the question. And the question I would have is, and you decide if you want to speak or not, you can kind of do thumbs up or put something in the chat. I'd like to know, I can also look on Facebook and see, let me see, I can look on Facebook, maybe I can't look. So I was going to look on Facebook and see if I can see if somebody wants to speak too. I see, is it Suni? Am I saying your name right? Okay. Do you want to speak? Is that a yes or no? Do you want to come on camera?
I just want to say, Kathy, I caught on late on the challenge, but I watched all the videos. And what a wonderful thing you're doing here, and so unique and so needed. I'm really just blown away by what was shared and what you're offering. So I just want to thank you. I had not thought a number of things from the perspective that you were sharing, but it's just really incredible. So I'm just excited to hear, like, just how we can continue after the challenge to, stay involved and just glean more wisdom from you.
Great, great.
Yeah.
And where are you zooming from? Where are you at?
I'm from New York. I'm
New York. Okay.
yeah, I'm upstate New York, like about 45 minutes north of New York City.
Okay, great. And I see under title it says Jewelry Peacemaker
Oh.
Legacy Architect.
Yeah, but you added like a whole other layer of the legacy architect.
Good, good. Well, I appreciate you coming and I'll be able to share a little bit more. I just wanted to pop in since you're in the Zoom and see if there were any takeaways. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And Miss Nadishta, do you have a comment to say? I know you shared yesterday, but I always value what you have to say. So what comments or feedback do you have for us today?
Yes, I just want to add, I don't know if you shared with the audience who you are and how you become a real estate, and you maybe did not tell everyone. As guys, Katie is in real estate already for 28 years. It's going 29. So this is why that I just went live on the Facebook to tell that how grateful I am to be on this challenge. And every challenge that I'm attending, it is different from previous. So every time I'm learning a lot of, and I'm taking action as well. As you heard me yesterday, I did already my part. And I'm just turning wheels to do another asset, to make another asset. So I'm working on it as well. And this is one is a contagious group that people that they don't know you, they just missing out. As Swimi said that, yes, you have a lots of layers that people don't know that what they can do in their life that God gave to us, live under the on the earth. So just because. And tell more about you, Katie, what you have accomplished, because no one knows that you are the treasure in our group.
Oh, thank you. That's a gentle reminder, because I forget. I'm so eager to share my knowledge. I forget to say who I am. Well, hello. I am almost 60 years old. I'm about to celebrate my 60th birthday. I've been in the real estate space as a licensee. I'm a broker owner of my own firm since I've been a broker owner for 11 years, but I've been in real estate for 28 years. Let's see, what else can I tell you? I'm prior military. I served in the US Army as a medical service corps officer for 10 years. I got out as a single parent and had no job, no source of income, and took my license in 30 days and hit the ground running. Because I believe when you have a passion and a purpose, you're driven to succeed. You're driven to complete it. And I didn't want to let my daughter down at the time. I didn't want her to see her mother as a failure, even though I was feeling that way because of the divorce and all these things that happen in life. I thought, okay, what can I do? I said, well, I can buy a house. Bought a house, and then I joined real estate. In the first 2 years, I'll say, were very rough, very difficult, because I was in a new place. I didn't know the lay of the land, and I didn't have a mentor. I looked to other people, but I really didn't have the mentorship that I felt I needed and that new brokers need. So I just started watching people, like the little girl on here. I just started watching people that I saw that were successful. I would watch them. They didn't call that mentorship. I just watched. I watched what they did, and I would ask questions, and I would ask if I could be a part of whatever they were doing. If they would sit and counsel with the client, I'd sit there and listen. You can learn so much by asking questions and watching. So that's what I did for the first 2 years. And I received an award called Perseverance, because they saw me as someone who was eager to learn, eager to grow. And I landed a contract with Fannie Mae. I don't know if anybody's familiar with that. Fannie Mae Freddie Mac is a foreclosure. What is it? Fannie Mae Freddie Mac is a government entity it's like the subprime market for real estate. So long story short, I became what's called an REO queen. It was a title that was, at the time, I thought that was great. That meant real estate owned. I was the #1 person in my territory, and I had amassed over almost 100 properties on the market. So I was pretty much inundated with work. So I decided this was too much. It was too much. And I felt the passion of helping instead of hurting people. So when you're dealing with foreclosure, you're dealing with people that are in distress, that are being kicked out of their homes. It was hard on my heart. So I stopped. I said, I'm not going to do this anymore. So I shifted gears, opened my own firm, and I said, I'm just going to do business with people that know, like, and trust me. And that's what I've been doing. I have rarely had a bank-owned property, which is strange for people that know me. They're like, how come you're not doing that anymore? It just wasn't in me anymore. I mean, I didn't really like working with big banks. I like working with people. I'm a relationship person. So that's what brought me to where I am here today. And I love sharing. I've done challenges on rookie realtors. I've done challenges on peace, but this is my sweet spot, creating cultural legacy, because I can bring it all in together and integrate some of the skills and knowledge and talents that I have and help you create your own blueprint. I mean, in the playbook, I have some examples in there on how you can create it. But if you want to go a little further with me, I'm about to introduce you to an opportunity. So I'm going to share my screen with you. Let's see, I have a lot of things pulled up, so be patient with me. Let's see, share screen, share screen. Is this it? Let me pull it up first before yep, that's it. Okay, here it is. I believe this is it. So make this bigger. Tell me if you can see this. You can see this? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so, okay, there we go. So I'm inviting you into a workshop. The value of the workshop is $3,995. It includes two 90-minute work sessions. And that's just what it says, work sessions. We will get to work specifically geared toward your plan, your situation, your dynamics, your skills. And you'll also be able to pick up some other skills that will help you further your advancement in creating your legacy plan. You'll get a 60-minute clarity call with me. That's just you and me on the phone, dicing down just what areas you want to focus in on and to help you collapse all of the things that are out there, because many of us have many ideas. What I want to do this and this and this. I'll help you pull it all together. You'll be invited and be a part of a Legacy Builder community. It's another Facebook group, which will be in the community where there'll be more content, more value shared. You'll get all of the recordings, not only from this challenge, but from previous challenges. You'll get the playbook and you'll get a planner and a journal. Now that is the value, but that's not what I'm going to charge. You might be a little amazed at what I'm going to charge if I can advance the slide. So that's my sister that passed away in 2017. But the workshop is going to be $197. And I thought I would just offer it at this ridiculous price because I only want to work with people who are really interested in advancing their legacy and actually learning some skills to go further. And this is probably the last time I'll do this. I'm pretty sure of it because it takes an investment of time for me. It's an investment of time for you. But I love what I do and I love helping. So that's my heart, is to help and to serve. And so my sister, as I said, she passed away. You may not have heard the story before, and I'm not sure I shared the details of her particular legacy plan, but my sister owned her property as well as an investment property. She has two twins. I did do an interview with two twins. Twins are two, right? She has twins, and one of them I did an interview. Her name is Natasha Muhammad. If you look in the Facebook group under the guides, you'll see that interview, or if you just scroll down, you'll see that interview that I did with her daughter. But my sister owned a piece of property that was her property and her husband, and she owned an investment property. And when she passed away, her husband, because of community property and marriage, he inherited property, which is great. However, the two pieces of property that she owned after her husband passed away, he passed it on to his daughter that he had just became in relationship with. He was estranged from his daughter for years, and right before my sister passed, they actually went to visit his daughter. They got rekindled, and this was great. However, when he passed, right before he passed, he did a will and he gave everything to his daughter. The property was actually in an LLC titled Two Twins. My sister created this LLC, Two Twins. So it was her desire to pass the properties on to her children. but it didn't happen that way. And one of the reasons I do this is because what you don't know, and you can't do anything about it after the fact. So after the fact, even though she had the properties in that LLC, she did not have a will. She did not stipulate on the deed how the property was to transfer in event of the death of her husband. So none of those precautions were made. And you don't think about that when the person's living. You just think, okay, everything's great. I did have a conversation with her husband before he passed, but we didn't talk about the property. I talked about the property with him when my sister passed to help him facilitate the transfer and did all those things. However, I think it's important, if you have a desire to keep your assets in a trust, if you desire to pass your assets to family members, if you have a desire to create a foundation, whatever your desire is, it needs to be in writing, and you need to start those provisions now, because after the fact, it's too late. So after a lot of heartache and a lot of tears and a lot of pain, I told my niece and nephew, I said, you know what? Don't worry, because my father passed on property to me in my name, my sister's name, and my brother's name. Now, just because my sister's no longer here, I said, you still have a stake in this, because I'm creating a trust so that the family asset would pass on from generation to generation. Right now, my brother's living there and it's just in our name right now. But I'm in a process, like I say, creating cultural legacy is an evolving, ongoing process, because as we live, as we acquire new assets, things continue on. And so in this particular case, I'm in the process of creating a trust. We've had discussions because my father left other properties too, to see if they have interest in these other assets, because they're income producing properties. Because they're income producing properties, I want to be able to share in that wealth. So I'm thinking about creating a full umbrella of these assets. But some of the assets needed a lot of work, and I've put a lot of money into them to build them up, which is not a problem. I'm just saying I want them to be able to maintain them. So I want to make sure that these assets are shored up. But the asset, which was my parents' home, my brother lives in, and he takes very good care of it. He's actually my on-site property manager. So if you have family members that know skills, my brother is very skilled. He does toilets. He's a painter by trade. He does roofs, siding, everything. He does everything. And he doesn't charge me, which I'm working on that. I'm working on paying him. But just think about the things that you want to create right now. What is it that you're doing right now that if you were to pass away, no one would even know about it, because you've kept it a secret? Don't keep it a secret. The other piece is insurance. Now, my sister didn't have insurance. My father didn't have insurance. I have insurance because I believe that's one of the protection umbrella pieces that you can leave for the next generation, so that they don't have to pay all the debt and pay off your assets. If you have mortgages and things like that, they can pay off those and actually have property free and clear. My father did that. He paid off his primary residence 3 months before he passed away. So with that, as I look at my sister, I'm just, she was a happy-go-lucky person, and she passed away just having a simple procedure. She had what do you call it? She had a kidney. She was on dialysis, and she had a transplant, had a new kidney, and that kidney failed. And she was almost ready to have another kidney, but her numbers didn't match her heart rate, all these things. So they kind of poo-pooed it. And she would say, hey, you know what? I've lived 10 years on this kidney, and God's given me this time, and I'm just going to live life. So the last year of her life, she traveled and she did all the things she wanted to do. And had I known at that time to do what I'm doing now, my niece and nephew wouldn't be in this situation. So maybe you have family members, maybe in your own family, you have situations that you haven't taken provisions for. Maybe you don't think insurance is important. Maybe you don't think creating a wealth plan is important. Well, the people that are left behind think it's important. My niece and nephew think it's very important. Yeah, they still love their mom. They love all that she did, all the things that she did in her life, but none of that was really transferable. So I told them, don't worry about it because I'm creating something for them because my father created something for me. So what are you creating, not just for yourself, but for those that love you, whether you're single, married, whatever the situation is? I know people that don't have family and they leave trust and things like that to foundations. I mean, that could be another way of building a legacy. A lot of wealthy people do that. They leave money to foundations and not their families. So I know personally for me, I want to make sure my family's taken care of. So whatever it is you want to make sure is taken care of, um, think about that when you develop your legacy plan. So any questions on that workshop? I can go back to the previous page, see if it'll take me back. Any questions on those items about the 2 90-minute work sessions, the clarity call, the Legacy Builder community Facebook group, the recordings, not just of this challenge, but of previous challenges, the playbook? Each time I do a challenge, I'm upgrading the playbook and I'm adding new things to it. And for those who join the workshop, I'll give you the template so you can create your own playbook, right? I'll give you the outline so you can create your own playbook because this is your story, not my story. I'm just sharing with you a story, but you'll get to create your own. And then a planner and a journal, because part of my first workshop that I did with a young lady who also is no longer here, she created well, we actually did an obituary. I know it sounds morbid, but we did an obituary. And it actually was fun. It was a fun activity. We did an obituary little session, and she wrote out all the things that she wanted to do in her lifetime, purchased 17 properties for her grandchildren, her great grandchildren. I mean, all these things, she wrote it all out. And when she passed suddenly in December, her children saw these journals. They saw all the stuff that she was dreaming about doing, and they started taking action and when they did her obituary, they used her words. They used her cover. I mean, it was beautiful it was sad, but it was beautiful to be able to share the person's life and have them be a part of it. So that is what I want to share with you for those of you who want to go a little further. So if there are no questions on that, I think it's time for some prizes. I've seen a lot of people going on Facebook. Let me stop sharing. Let's see. Going on Facebook and um, posting, liking. I've had people purchase the playbook. I've had people purchase recordings. I've had all of that. Now it's time to give back. So let me find my prize wheel here. Find my prize wheel. Okay. Prize wheel is right there. Okay, let me share screen with you. If there are no questions, we are going to go to the prize wheel because I have lots of prizes. And before I do that, let me tell you what the prizes are. One of the prizes is a playbook, recordings. All of these are prizes, the things that are in the 197 offer. I'm breaking those down. So you have the playbook, the recordings, the clarity call, the journal planner, and the workshop. And I'm adding some books because I think books help you to expand your, let's see, here's the books. So I actually have 3 books. And depending on how many let's see, let me do a share screen because let's see. Okay, so that's the shared screen. So here's one book. It's called Expert Secrets. Now, if you're in marketing and you want to understand how to create offers and generate revenue, this is an excellent marketing book. He's the owner of, is he the owner, Nadia, of ClickFunnels? But he calls his the underground playbook. See, everyone's using playbook. Yeah, I thought I was original, but that's one book, Marketing Secrets. The other book I've learned a lot from is Pedro Adao. I joined 100X and I kind of have on some 100X stuff, but he has a book called The Finished Life. This book is about his life when he felt his life was over, and he shares from the perspective of coming out of depression and suicide. So he talks about coming out of that and discovering Jesus as his Lord and Savior. And what's the third one? The third book is Rediscovering the Kingdom. This is another prolific writer, Miles Monroe. He has several books, and he talks about the kingdom. So I wanted to share those books too as prizes. So we ready to get started? Yes, maybe? Okay, we are going to get started. Let's see. I think it's been a while since I've done this, so let me shrink this page. Shuffle, shuffle,
well.
and then it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, and then I just hit it.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, it's spinning. Oh, Sumi, yay, 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 yay. So let's see, the first prize I have on the list is Playbook, but I believe you already purchased the Playbook. So I am going to put recordings for you. Sumi recordings. So I'm going to remove just the one because every time you did a like or purchase something, I entered your name. So I'm just going to remove the one. So you'll get the recordings. Congratulations. Okay, the next one, let's see, shuffle. Well, I didn't shuffle, I just spin. Okay, the next one. Terencio. Okay, Terencio gets the playbook. I don't think you purchased the playbook, but if you did, I will give you another prize. Okay, and I'll remove the one instance. Okay. And the next one, let's see, shuffle. Well, I should shuffle it, right? But I didn't. Okay. The next one is Clarity Call. Nadia, you get a clarity call. Now, even though you've been my moderator, you also have commented and liked and stuff. So I did you equally as well. So I appreciate all of your support. Okay, I'm just removing one. And here we go again. The next one is for a journal. I give away good journals. Denise, okay. Oh no, Darice. Okay, let's see. Journal, Darice. Okay. And you will get a journal. Okay. The next one, here we see. The next one will be a planner. Nadia, you get a planner. Let's see. Nadia. Okay. I'll remove the one instance. You're lucky lady. Let's see. Next one. Let's see who. Someone made a comment. Let's see real. Oh, you're welcome. Okay. Shrink. Okay. Spin. This one is for the workshop. Daria. Daria gets the workshop. Daria. Remove this one. Well, actually, I was going to say I should have did the books before the workshop, but I've already announced it. So here we go. Remove that one. So the next one will be for, this is great for someone who's in marketing. The next one will be expert secrets, or if you want to sell something, if you have a business you'd like to start, I think that would be an excellent tool to have. So the next one is expert secrets. Expert secrets. That Willie gets expert secrets. Congratulations. All right, remove that one instance. Okay, the next one will be for Pedro's The Finished Life. The Finished Life. Krista, and I think Krista already has The Finished Life. Finished Life. I know she does, in fact. So I will give her, I'll give her something else. What else could I give her? Because she's part of the community. She has that. I'll find something to give her. Maybe I'll give her a playbook. Okay. Next one, I'll find another one to give the Finished Life to. Okay, here we go. The next one is Monica. Monica, you get the Finished Life. Monica, the Finished Life. Okay, remove that one. And spin again. Okay. Denise. Denise, I believe you have the Finished Life. So Denise, I am going to give you a clarity call. Clarity call. Okay, so remove that. So who can I give? Let's see, the Finished Life. Okay, Monica has the Finished Life. So the last one, and I know Denise has Rediscovering the Kingdom. So I just have one more book. Okay. And that book is Rediscovering the Kingdom. Let's see who the winner is. McNeil. McNeil is Rediscovering the Kingdom. Awesome. And I just thought of something. For those who join, and I'm going to stop sharing. Those who join me in the workshop, I'm going to gift you all 3 books because all 3 books have helped me. And I'm thinking that would be a great tool to help jumpstart your legacy plan that you're creating. So I will post in the group ways that you can join because I haven't put it in the group yet. So I'll put in the group the link to join me in the Legacy Builder plan. And so with the Legacy Builder, you'll get all the things that I mentioned about being part of the Facebook group and not only getting the books, but the work sessions, the clarity call. You will get all the things, like I like to say, like Olive says, all the things. So I just want to check in with you and see if there are any questions on any of that about the program, any questions that you might have. Just kind of check. And I can't see Facebook right now, Nadia. So if you're able to see Facebook, because all I can see is Zoom right now. Zoom is on my screen.
No questions so far. So
Okay. 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 Well, I really love this opportunity to share. I really love this opportunity to grow with you and to help because that is my nature, not kind of my nature. It is my nature to be a help. And so if you think this is valuable for you, then why not take the opportunity? Trust me, it's worth it. Trust me, it's worth it. To help you create your own legacy plan, to help you create your own playbook, to basically come up with ideas that you've already had all the time, to taking that time and space to really think about and to dream again. So I'm looking forward to each and every one of you to say, yes, yes, I want more, I can go further. And if that's not enough, if you need one-on-one with me, that is also available. That's not what I'm posting on the site. This is just a group session. So with that 197, you're going to be in a group. It'll be on a Zoom, and I'll Zoom just in that Zoom room. I will probably stream that in that private Facebook group, but it won't be this group. It'll be a separate group, because everyone that has joined the free challenge may or may not want to take the next step. So I'm inviting you, I'm imploring you to take what you've heard and actually take action. Take action, because action is what's going to take you to that next step, right? It's going to help you get to where you want to be. It's hard to get across the river if you don't have a boat, if you're not a swimmer. You need someone to lead you and to guide you. So I'm here as a lifeguard, really a lifeguard, a true lifeguard, to help you navigate the plans that are already set in place for you. And maybe, just maybe, those plans aren't already set, and you have a vision that's much bigger than you're able to put together. I can help you put that vision together and come up with action steps to actually take you to that next step. So I am looking forward to what we are going to create together. I'm grateful for the legacy that was handed down to me at an early age, and I didn't even know it. As a little girl, looking out at all the relatives that I would see, they would come to our house and congregate. I didn't know at that time what was being birthed inside of me. I didn't know. When you look at pictures of yourself, can you look back and see, what is it? Let me know when you're closing. Oh, okay. Yes, let me know what's being birthed inside of you. And so this offer at the 197 is available through tomorrow at midnight. So all the recordings that you see now will come off the page, will come off the group, off the page. They'll come off the page. And so the offer at 197 is only until tomorrow at midnight. After that, the price changes. So it's in my opinion, it's a steal, because I know the blood, sweat, tears, the course curriculum that I've gone through, the thousands and thousands of dollars that I have personally spent to invest in myself. I'm giving it to you for a fraction so that you can invest in yourself. Because as my shirt says, I am good soil, and I believe you are good soil. So invest in yourself. Get some wisdom. You'll get some books. You'll get some training. You'll get some skills. I'll help you create your own legacy plan. Because there's a piece that I didn't really speak much about, which is life insurance. So there are so many things that we get to learn about and to share in the growth. So I'm going to see if I can just get one picture at the end, just for my those of you who are in the Zoom. Maybe she left. Okay, that's okay. What do we have? Let's see. I'm gonna look in the chat. Okay, I don't see that we have all of our guests, but that's fine. I can go back and listen to the replay and do a little screenshot, because I'd like to capture people and just thank you for being present, because
We have
this.
Deborah.
Oh, and
We
Deborah.
have Deborah on Facebook.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, thank you, Miss Deborah, for always being there and showing up, and appreciate you for purchasing the recording. So thank you for that. So if there are no questions, it's 1 minute early and I have a 4 o'clock Zoom. So I can't Zoom at the same time, but I want to thank you. If there are any questions, put them in the chat.
Also,
Yeah.
Deborah said, thank you for our North Christian Christmas gift. What a treasure you are making, my family.
Oh, that's sweet. That's very sweet. So I appreciate all of you, especially Miss Nadia Nardensky. Say it right.
Nadezhda.
Nadezhda.
Great. Thank
I
you.
have to say it 3 times fast. Thank you so much for all you do to support me and keeping this going. So love you, lady, and I will be signing out.
Love
With some
you.
toast. Join me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everything you done. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just say yes. Right.
Yes, 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 guys. Say yes.
All right. All right. Bye-bye.